Kerry Zarb is a rock star podcaster, brilliant entrepreneur, director of Zinc Business Solutions, cover girl, mastermind leader, financial designer, founder of the Biz Beans Club, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim, and welcome to the Virtual Cafe for this week's finance segment. And today we're going to chat about variable incomes. It can be tough to create an even cash flow when your business income goes up and down like a yo-yo. How do we create our own average? Knowing your business numbers is the only way. Forget forecasting too far ahead. Put away the crystal ball. Just focus on how much you have now, what's coming in next week or next month. Make your funds form an average for you so that you have control. When you have more, put some away. The other key part is knowing your expenses. With variable income, expenses can be the driving force. You need to focus on keeping them in check, knowing your expenses and not having surprises catch you unawares. We need to keep expenses to the absolute minimum to also help us have funds to carry over. Having variable income in our business can also give us such an uneasy feeling. We can feel helpless and out of control. So you need to be determined, you need to be focused, and you need to know that you can make it work by knowing your business numbers. Remember, you can form the average. Remember, you can control the business finances. And most of all, remember to put funds away. That's all today from the Virtual Cafe. Back to you, Kim.
Good job, Kerry.
Oh, it's so weird looking at yourself on here. I've got to say that out loud.
Well, Kerry, you bring up a really, really important thing for entrepreneurs in that the income does go up and down. It does change, Kerry. You know, one month you might have a great month and the next month might be a little lighter, or you might be on a, upward going a higher and higher, and then all of a sudden you don't have a month worth of income. So I think there's a lot of ways to address this, and I love that you bring all those things that we need to do tip wise. So tell us more, Kerry.
Well, Kim, I got to be honest, I was probably more thinking about those that run a service-based business, the freelancers of the entrepreneurial world that have a lot of those ups and downs, the yo-yos with their finances. But you're right, Kim, it can affect anyone in business. We all see, I'm going to say it, we all see the peaks and the troughs. Peaks and valleys, and I think there's something in there for us all to take away in the respect of when we know the numbers, we form the control. It simply comes back to that. If we don't know what's happening with the finances, we're in limbo land. We're not taking any control within ourselves, and I just think it just comes back to knowing the numbers, Kim. And making them work for you. We don't, similar to what Jill said about the calendar, don't let the calendar control you. Same goes for the business finances. Take it by the reins, Kim.
So, Kerry, I think you practice what you preach, and I think that's a big part of this, theme of demonstrating by design throughout this whole segment. But, Kerry, you are seriously leading the pack. You just did the club meeting where we can all go together and have accountability and have that space to do things. I feel like that's another way you're leading by example. Go ahead, Kerry.
Well, I have to speak to that super quick, Kim, because the club is a huge level of accountability. As a club member, when you have a monthly meetup that you can come and ask questions, you can hear questions from other people that come to the table as well. It gives us that level of accountability that may not necessarily jump on our calendar and may not hop into our schedule, or it can get bumped and put off and extended beyond the normal control that we should have. So the club helps you with that accountability as well. And trust me, when you hear someone else's question and you go, oh yeah, I might have wanted to ask that, or perhaps I don't need that to know that now, but in a month or 6 months, it might be something that is definitely usable in your business finance journey. So that little camaraderie that we have in the club as well, there's just something really special about it, Kim. And of course, being here in the virtual cafe.
I love the virtual cafe. And speaking of the virtual cafe, let's hop over to a commercial that's actually about being in the virtual cafe, Kerry.
Do you struggle to understand your business finances? Are you sick of not being able to keep up with the beans in your business? Tune in to the Simply Biz Beans podcast for weekly coffee convos about business finances. This is where coffee meets money. Hosted by Kerry Zarb and Kim White in the virtual cafe, we invite you to join us at our table with your favourite brew, because we understand your finances are as private as your underwear. This is why we share these personal conversations with you, so that you can get in control of your business finances. We chat about the real issues we've faced with our flippin' digits and discuss everything in a simple way to help you on your Biz Beans journey. As Princess Kim would say, buckle up, and I'll say, come on, let's go, it's coffee time. Catch the Simply Biz Beans podcast on your favourite podcast channel today.
Welcome back.
So, Kerry, I have to speak to the podcast for a second.
Sure.
Because there are so many things you lead by example on the podcast. You share so many things with us. I think you should talk about the podcast for a minute.
Well, I'm firstly going to say that I am joined by a very special co-host. So the amazing Kim White is with me every single week in the virtual cafe. And you know what, Kim, I want to say that we have conversations about finances because there's the two of us. It's very different when you have a co-hosted show as opposed to a solo show. I used to have solo shows, and me just speaking about the topic didn't quite have the same kind of twang to it, Kim. And I love the banter that we can have and the different pieces of our experiences that we can bring to the table talking about business finances, because it's pretty uncomfortable. It's a pretty yucky topic that a lot of people don't want to really dive into. And we bring it to the forefront together with our conversations. We keep it relatively short and sharp and to the point, but we kind of bring in different elements together as well. So I love the show, Kim.
I do too, Kerry. And it is kind of silly too. That helps the tough conversations. But really what I want to tell everybody out there listening, really what Kerry's saying is I come and ask lots of questions. So if you need any questions asked, just let me know, because I am full of questions for Kerry. She is definitely leading all of us by example.
Oh, Kim, and you do it so well. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you spend that time with me and help me bring the podcast to life with those questions, because a lot of us need those questions, and definitely that helps me bring the top. It's all in our heads. It's all in our brains. It's buried in the filing system of the grey matter. So having someone like you, Kim, by my side to pull that information out and have those conversations is very special.
I'll be your backup singer anytime, Kerry.